Hi, welcome to Factoring Algebraic Equations. Now, in factoring, our goal is to find two numbers that add up to the number with the x coefficient and have those two numbers then multiply toward the other number. Okay, let's jump right into it. So we have factor. We have x squared plus 3x plus 2. So our goal is to find two numbers that add to 3x and multiply to 2. Okay, so when I think of two numbers that multiply to 2 and add to 3, I immediately think of 2 and 1. So I simply write it as x plus 2 and x plus 1. And there, that's it. It's factored. Easy enough. All right, let's move on to the next one. So we have x squared minus 6x plus 5. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get to add to negative 6x, and I want it to multiply to 5. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to think about what are some numbers that come to my mind. Well, I know that 5 times 1 is equal to 5, and if I add those and they're both negative, multiplies to positive 5, and that would add up to negative 6. So it's simply x minus 5 times x minus 1. And there, we have our answer. All right, now here we have a little bit different of a question. It's 6x plus 9x, but it wants us to factor. So this type of equation is different from the other equations, but what we want to look at is what number can we pull out of this equation to have it factor. So it's 6x plus 9x. So I know x is in both, so I could factor out an x. And a common multiple of 6 and 9 is 3. So I could pull out a 3, x, and then it's simply just 2 plus 3. And then if you want, you can do 3x times 5. Okay. All right, let's get our next one. X squared plus 36x plus 35. So what we want to do is we want to have 36x. We want to add to that, and we want to multiply to positive 35. So I know that 35 times 1 gives me 35, and that would add up to 36. So it's x plus 35, x plus 1. That's my final answer. Awesome. So now it's just that you pause the video and attempt these 3 problems yourself. All right, hopefully you found success with these problems. I do want to change something real quick. On the 24x plus 8x, we're going to take out the x at the end of 8, so then it's just 24x plus 8. We can factor that. Okay, but first let's do x squared plus x minus 6. So once again, we want to multiply to x, which here, and when it's just plus x, that means there's a 1 coefficient. So that means we want to add to 1. We want to multiply to negative 6. So when I think about what multiplies to negative 6, I think of negative 3, positive 2, and even positive 3 and negative 2. So I think positive 3 plus negative 2, that'll give me positive 1. So x plus 3 times x minus 2. That's our final answer. All right, let's move on to the next one. Here we have x squared minus 4x minus 45. So we want to think, what can we multiply by and have these add up? Well, 9 times 5 multiplies to 45. And if I use a negative number, I can get them to equal to negative 4 when I add them. So I could simply do x minus 9, x plus 5, and then I'll multiply to negative 45 and add to negative 4. All right, last question. So similar to the one before, we want to find a number that we can pull out of this equation and factor it. So a common factor of 24 and 8 is 8. So we can pull out an 8. So that's 3x plus 1. And we can't pull out the x because there's only an x with 24 and not with 8. Okay, thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something today.